Hey guys, this is Ken here. This is Videolog number 1 for self-quarantine during this crazy pandemic. Spring break just over. Right now I'm staying in Ohio with one of my friends in college. Things are going well, I guess. Over the spring break, nothing much happened. Basically just stayed at home, played some video games, read some books, did some work. It was kind of nice to finally get some sleeping in. So today is Monday, and last Thursday we got a notification saying we have to move out by May the 10th. And I talked to my parents, and my dad thinks that the school might use some of the dorms for quarantine if the UW hospital runs out of space. Um, so yeah, so I talked to mom and dad, which is my friend's mom and dad. I just call them mom and dad. And we decided to drive out on last Friday, so we did that. We drove out. We drove out on Friday around 8:15 a.m. in the morning. We traveled through Indiana and around Chicago in Illinois, and arrived in Madison around 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Then immediately we put on masks and gloves for protection. So we went in, and the guy said, "Oh, don't worry, all of the cars are sanitized," which is kind of nice. But we still had those on in the entire time for safety reasons. But in the room, found a note from my roommate that was really nice. He said, "Thank you for being such a great roommate." Text him later saying, "You too," basically. And yeah. So that day we arrived at 2. We brought the cards and everything, got everything ready, and then we moved everything here in Ohio. Um, and we drove that same day around 4. It took me 2 hours to get there, everything. So we drove back around 4, and then we got home around midnight. And after that, we talked with mom for a little bit, had a pie, some juice or soda, I couldn't remember. And then we went to bed. So the weekend was kind of relaxing. It was good to be home. Um, and I think it's just very nice for my friend and his family to take me in during this difficult time, because I can see that hosting someone for a week would be probably okay, maybe like even 2 or 3, but hosting someone for a month or a couple months could be hard. And I really appreciate them doing this. So just want to give a shout out to them for taking care of me. My parents, some of you know that I'm from China, so my parents are doing well in China. They're still in home isolation, just because the lockdown in Beijing hasn't been lifted yet, so they had to stay home. Probably by early April they're able to return to work and stuff, so that's kind of nice. Yeah. So today and then on Sunday I kept doing some work and stuff. So today, Monday, March 24th or 23rd, I guess it's midnight. 23rd, I have my first online classes today. It wasn't too bad for me actually, just because I had online classes before, so it wasn't big of a deal. Had some teamwork that was actually fun, I guess, and I think it gave us a lot more freedom and time to do the in-class work than than being actually in the class, I suppose. Um, yeah. So one other thing is that I'm a tutor, and I had my first online session today. It went well. We basically went over some antiderivative stuff. Yeah, so for that, yesterday I got an email from Guts and saying from now on, sessions are no longer required, and they're like, how about as well? I get it. I understand that this is a difficult time, but I just think sending out that email is kind of irresponsible for both tutors and tutees because for tutors, it's like you sign up for this, we all sign up for this, and now you're saying it's no longer required. That's kind of irresponsible on your side. Also, it's irresponsible for the tutees because students sign up for those sessions for a reason. Like, they need the help, they need the support, if not the help. And by doing that, they're denying the chance and abilities for students to get help if the tutors decide to, oh, look, I don't have to do this, so I'm just going to give up, you know? And that's going to leave a lot of students in confusion. And I just don't think, I mean, okay, maybe irresponsible might be a little too harsh on them because I get it, some people don't have access to the internet or stuff. But I think it would be better if you say, like, okay, I understand that this is the difficult time. We can, like, it would be just better if they could say, you can if you are able, please keep logging in with us and keep doing the sessions. That's a whole different story because in this way you're telling the tutors, please continue the session. Telling the tutees, hey, you still got help and support from us. I just think it could have been worded better. So I kept my section running, and in order to help out just in case, I'm gonna email them tomorrow saying like, hey, if any Calc 2 or Calc 1 students need help, let them email me. I'll create a group and then see what happens. I just wanna help as much as I could. I just think that is responsible, and we can all use some support, understanding, and love during this challenging time. I'm very glad to see some of my TAs and my professors have shown support to us. They're saying like, oh, if you're running issues, don't worry. If you're sick, don't worry about it. If you are not feeling well, prioritize your health and safety and well-being. I think some teachers are really nice for reducing some of the workload. Like, they're not at, and they recognize some people may go home or may travel to different time zones, so they're like, okay, let's do asynchronous. And honestly, I really like that because I can work it through my own schedule. Yeah. And this is literally like the movies. It's like a disaster is happening and people are going crazy. Some people are getting guns. Walmarts and stores are running out of toilet paper and sanitizers, which is kind of hand sanitizers, which is kind of insane. Yeah. So speaking of which, I think mom and dad just went out last week, bought a bunch of food, so I think we're good on that. As in terms of medical supplies, we have masks and stuff. That's good. Thank God that I have them. Yeah. So that's that. Not a whole lot happening. This is quarantine, technically speaking, day 8, I guess. Things are going well. I'm doing fine. My friends are doing fine. I think this is a good time to do vlogs like this, or read books, or do whatever you want. Yeah. Let's see, anything else. I don't know. Oh, yeah, interesting news. Apparently in Russia, I think this is true. Well, it kind of, So like a comedy, you may or may not heard that the Russian President Putin has released 800 lions and tigers on Russian streets in order to um, keep the people inside for home isolation or quarantine, which is kind of funny in my opinion. Just because people can totally shoot them and get the food or the fur that they, if they need it, presumably. Yeah. I have seen a clip of Rachel Maddow. Um, sure, she could be a wackadoodle sometimes, but you know, there's some truth in it. She's saying that um, the federal government is not doing anything, and I feel like, and which is true, and the state government are on the scale. The state governments are on themselves, which is also true. Um, I, I still think that even though Trump has declared national emergency and all of that, he's still downplaying the severity of the virus. And I hate the fact that he keeps calling it the Chinese virus, which is total violation of a rule in from WHO saying that when you name a disease, you cannot have any racism or demeaning term or behavior or comments. Which brings me to think about an interesting issue is that the freedom of speech. You know, like constitutionally speaking, hate speech is legal, but I do think as a president, as a political leader and a national symbol, you shouldn't abuse the power of freedom of speech. Like, sure, you can say whatever you have in your mind, but that doesn't necessarily make it morally right. And I think blaming China on this is just to ignore his inability to deal with this crisis, and which is kind of childish because blaming doesn't really help anyone in the situation. And I think it's the fact that because of his comments, and a lot of people are watching Fox News and watching news on the social media, some of my friends came to me and believed that, yeah, I do blame China for messing it up. Like, I think China fucked up or stuff like that. And one of them even said, you can come to me and telling that the US is doing bad, the US is doing badly, or worse than China, when we have 3,200 deaths in the US. And I said, that is a horrible thing to say because I don't wish anyone to die. I wish everyone who has it to recover soon from it. You know, I just think wishing a country that reaches a certain number of deaths in this craziness is just a very ill wish, a very inappropriate thing to say. But again, freedom of speech, what am I gonna do, right? And he also talked about how the US is doing way more than China, which I think is totally untrue because one of the facts is that China has shut down domestic flights and international flights right away once they know what they're doing, you know, and US hasn't done that yet. China successfully home isolated 1.4 billion people, and US hasn't done that. Like, people are still roaming on streets, walking around, still not practice social distancing, still not wearing masks, and yes, you're not wearing gloves anywhere. Like, it's just, it seems like people are still not taking this seriously, which frustrates me because sure, if you get it, you may recover, but you are a carrier, you can bring it to someone who is weak or who has weak immune systems that can cause them seriously in danger. And we're talking about life and death here. And I just don't know how you can be irresponsible in this. Um, so if you're watching this video, I do urge you to stay at home during this time. I know this is hard. I know, if you're whether you're an extrovert or introvert, you probably need friends or people in your life. And I honestly think you can just use technologies. Like my friends and I always do Skype calls or FaceTime or whatever. Like you figure out something using technologies. Or I understand that technology may not be accessible to some people, but you can use phones or maybe even write letters, because the government hasn't shut down mail system yet. So I guess you can always do that. Just stay at home, please, for your health and safety, for your family's health and safety, and for other people's as well. I think right now it's a responsible and considerate thing to do. Um, just my thoughts on it, and um, yeah. So I do feel you. If you are from another country and you're currently trapped in the U.S., I totally get that. It's really hard without family and support. But you can always find some if you're really looking. I always believe that. And I do think that a lot of people need to think really positive about this instead of looking all bad. Like, 3 months, China had 0 cases right now, which is huge progress. Having in 3 months, a lot, a lot of people are cured with the COVID-19. Um, yeah, so just keep a positive mindset. And I keep telling my friends that this is over. Yes, moving out of dorms, leaving friends and family is hard. Um, but this is maybe for the best. Seniors, shout out to you guys. Um, Sorry you couldn't have your senior season completed. There's a lot less one last time. Seniors in whether seniors in high school or shot out. I respect all of your hard works and stuff. I wish you the best of luck in the future. So if you do have seniors around you, please show them some love and respect if they need it. Um, yeah, that's just me. Being trying to be positive here. And also, it's a good time to play some video games if you're gamers. So, yeah, you have time now. I think this pandemic is a great time to do some self-reflection. Do a video log if you like. Um, yeah, just some thoughts and stuff. um, yeah. So please take care of yourself. Be well. Stay safe. Stay happy. I'll see you guys in my next video log. Peace.